All right, today we're going to create a database really quickly and a single user role, which is going to do read only. I'm going to be pulling my data from something called Sierrachart, which is a really, well, it's a trading platform, but two, it's a really handy futures data platform. Can pull in stock data as well, but basically for futures you can do all of your continuous contract manipulations in it, which I can do a video on another day. But today what this does for me is that it exports all of these different symbols out to a predefined file path and file name, which I can then pick up in the database really easily. So I can read all of this in without having to really think about too much else other than just opening up Sierrachart every time I want to access those files with the database. So for now, we'll go back to pgAdmin 4, which in the last video you saw how we installed PostgreSQL. And we're just going to go through and complete some basic setup steps. I'm going to be using really just the GUI as much as I possibly can so that it stays fairly accessible. So here we'll just go and quickly create a database, which I'm going to use a predefined one, which I already have named intra-dash all PG for Postgres real quick, and that's effectively all you have to do. Just save that, let it create it, then come down here and we need to add a user, because this user is going to access this database eventually via an ODBC connection and able to get it across the internet and land that data in Excel into Power Query. So we'll just create a user, and that's all you do. You come down in the browser tree, come into the login group roles node, right click, create, and we're going to call this intra-read only. We'll give it a password, just any password that you're going to be able to remember. I have a specific one. Come into privileges. We want that user to be able to log in. Membership. I'm going to go over to this plus button, add a row. Then we're going to say read all data, and probably leave it off admin. You want to do all of your admin just on the server only. And that's all we have to touch in here, I believe. Yep. So save. And then that creates the user that we're going to allow to access this. Okay, let me just save that. Now we're going to run through this really quickly. And so what we need to do is come down to schemas for some reason. This was not clear from ChatGPT. By the way, this is all ChatGPT telling me what I need to run through. So once you see all of this come together, you should be able to easily adapt what I've done to your own data formats and everything else. This is really just how to set it up, how to get things done. Okay, so come into tables here. So we're going from schema. It drops, public seems to open up straight away, and then we come down to tables. go to create. Just come down to query tool, and that will open this up. That's interesting. So I thought this was pretty cool. It just drops it there. And we'll grab the scratch pad just to give us some more screen real estate. Okay, I've already prepared ingesting data, but in PostgreSQL, when you execute the create table statements in the query tool, the tables should automatically be created within your database. You don't typically save the table as you would in some other software, but executing the SQL statement effectively saves the table structure in the database. So what that means is when we come in here, I'll just copy this all in. So this is all prepared earlier, translated from my Microsoft SQL. And basically, all it does is it reads the head of the file, which I can bring up over here. So inside here, we can see that it just picks up these columns, which are separated by commas. And that's all it's doing is reading those and basically telling the table what that column needs to read it as, whether it's text, real, which is float, or integer, which is just number. Okay. So then what we'll do is we'll run this. Query returns successfully in 82 milliseconds, so it's nice and quick. All right, then we'll come back here, and then we should be able to see them listed under the tables node in pgAdmin. So if we come here, we can now see all of those tables. So ES is there, NQ, I believe they're all there. I'm not going to check them right now, but they should all be there. Then we're going to bulk insert, and what this command is going to do is it's going to read in all of this data into those tables. Okay, so another query tool. I've already prepared it. Okay, so all this is going to do is basically visit and copy the es.txt file with a CSV head delimiter, which is the comma that we saw in that file that I pulled up just before. So we'll run that. We have a syntax error. Oh, I'm not sure what that is. I think we run it again. Okay, and this took about 17 seconds the first time I did it. So we'll just let that run. Okay, so you'll have to obviously know where you're going to output this data to. I don't think I need to run through how to export data, so it took 15 seconds. That's pretty neat. So we can see here that data has populated, right? So it has been read in. So that really does conclude it. Next week, I'm going to get round to possibly doing some data manipulation, but my feeling is I'm going to have to do quite a lot of seeing if this data actually came in correctly, which is probably the larger task. All right.